And we look just about set to go now. Favourite Dancer for Money. Light on set. Line stands in well and away they go, and Dancer for Money after all that was the first to go out. Led easy in the early part. Point Loma begins nicely. No, I'm not pushing forward a little bit deeper with Aussie Jawsy. Just Albert starting to improve between runners, and Carrot Time going back towards the inside. So finding their order at the 800 metre mark, and Dancer for Money the favourite. Led the way a length in front of Point Loma, who's now being passed by No, I'm Not, who's on the improve. Carrot Time fourth inside, picking up ground, and then Just Albert just off those down the side. Aussie Jawsy at the 500 metre mark. Dancer for Money makes play 3/4 to No, I'm Not. Point Loma third. Carrot Time sits nice just behind them now. A gap then to Just Albert, and last of all Aussie Jawsy, 300 to run, and Dancer for Money the favourite leads them for home by 2. In second spot, getting up on the inside, Carrot Time. No, I'm Not. Point Loma just couldn't go with him as Dancer for Money had a decent kick. A gap then to Aussie Jawsy, but at the 150, and Dancer for Money really extending well here. Here's a return win for Wayne Davis, and Dancer for Money doing it well close to home, wins it by 2 on the line to maybe Carrot Time just in front of No, I'm Not. That'll be a photo. Point Loma behind those. A gap in the field then to Aussie Jawsy, Just Albert. Dancer for Money, number 3. Wayne Davis, Phil Cole. That's Wayno's first winner back since injury, I'd reckon, and he's did that well. Straight to the front, and she was just way too strong in the drive. They were there to sort of issue a challenge. No, I'm Not was up on pace throughout. Carrot Time got a good run in transit. Point Loma was just trying to stay in touch but couldn't go on late. The other two just behind those, but a nice win to Dancer for Money here in race number 3 on the card. Standing by for interims, 1:03.51 time coming through. 3 the winner, Dancer for Money, Wayne Davis, Phil Cole. Second 2, Carrot Time, Vanessa Arnott for Jason Manning. Third 6, No, I'm Not, Jess Booth for Chris Pollard. So 3, 2, 6, 4. Fourth looks like it'll go to 1, Point Loma, Adam Nichols, as these interim numbers start to filter through, and that's correct. 3, 2, 6, 1. 1:03.51 the time. And the winner, number 3, Dancer for Money, a 3-year-old brown filly by Grunt, owned by Rhonda Cole, Mrs A. Sayers Hunt, Mrs A. Goody, Mrs B. Martin, Mrs E. Stewart, Mrs J. Brownlee. Jess Newman in ownership there with Miss J. Porter, Mrs K. Murphy, Mrs K. Sayers Hunt, Mrs P. Parmenter, Mrs N. Holt, Mrs P. Cole, Sonia Slingbird in the ownership there with Mrs S. Dudley there, Mrs S. Edwards, Mrs S. M. Williams, Tanya Reichstein, along with Mrs T. Maxwell and Mrs Y. Forrest, owned by a big bunch of ladies there, and Phil Cole trains Wayne Davis. Good to see Wayno back in the winning circuit. That'll do his confidence a world of good. And good to get a winner back on the board there. That's its third win now from 9 starts, so it's just starting to find its way here in Darwin. Got plenty of toe, and in the right sort of class race, it's just going to pick up those races in its career here in the top end. Well done to all concerned. 2, Carrot Time, 4-year-old Bay Going by Brazen Bow, Jason Manning, Vanessa Arnott runs well. 6, No, I'm Not, 3-year-old Chestnut Filly, Yes, Yes, Yes for Chris Pollard, Jess Booth Road ran well. 4th to 1, Point Loma, 5th went to 5, Aussie Jawsy. We stand by for correct weight.